you
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Sana hindi pumani yung kotse. Oh my God!
هذا هو المبنى يا الربع تشوفوا هذه كلها مباني.
ده لسه مكمل.
صار ضرب حوالي 15 ضربة.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Sana hindi pumani.
طلع جد دخل على المركب.
Oh my God! Sana hindi pumani yung kotse. Oh my
قطر أنها لن تتهاون فيما يتعلق بالمساس بسيادتها وسلامة أراضيها، بأنها ستتعامل بحزم مع أي اختراق متهور أو اعتداء يطال أمنها ويهدد استقرار المنطقة، بأنها تحتفظ بحق الرد على هذا الهجوم السافر، وسوف تقوم باتخاذ كافة الإجراءات اللازمة.
This morning, Poland on high alert after drones from a wave of Russian attacks in neighboring Ukraine reportedly crossed the border. Polish and NATO air defenses were scrambled to shoot down the drones. People in 3 regions of Poland near the Ukraine border being urged to stay home. The Polish government calling the incident an act of aggression that posed a real threat to the safety of our citizens, adding that its forces remain fully prepared for immediate response. It comes less than a week after Russian President Vladimir Putin traveled to China, showing unity with leaders of China and North Korea. Since that meeting, Russia has staged its largest aerial attack on Ukraine since the war began. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin responding overnight, saying Vladimir Putin is testing our resolve to protect Poland and the Baltic nations. As tensions rise in Eastern Europe, they're also rising in the Middle East after Israel launched an airstrike into Qatar, a U.S. ally. Israel saying it was targeting leaders of Hamas.
Oh my God.
Israel calling the strike entirely justified following a deadly bus stop shooting in Jerusalem. But Hamas calling the strike on Qatar a failure, saying it failed to kill a single leader, instead killing security guards and the son of a Hamas leader. The White House acknowledging it got a heads up about the attack, but not soon enough to warn Qatar.
A U.S. official telling ABC News that Israel did give the U.S. advance warning it planned to strike Hamas, but not where or when. The official insisting, though, it wasn't sufficient enough to adequately warn regional partners.
President Trump saying the attack on Qatar does not help the U.S. or Israel.
I was very unhappy about it, very unhappy about every aspect.
And back to Poland, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has reportedly been briefed on the situation, but neither the State Department nor the Kremlin issued.
Last night, numerous drones from Russia violated Polish airspace. Our air defenses were activated and successfully ensured the defense of NATO territory, as they are designed to do. Several allies were involved alongside Poland. This included Polish F-16s, Dutch F-35s, Italian AWACS, NATO multi-role tanker transport and German Patriots.
Dzisiaj w nocy doszło do naruszenia przestrzeni powietrznej, polskiej przestrzeni powietrznej przez dużą liczbę rosyjskich dronów. Te drony, które stanowiły bezpośrednie zagrożenie, zostały zestrzelone. Wynikające z sytuacji, w jakiej nasz kraj się... Mamy do czynienia najprawdopodobniej z prowokacją na dużą skalę, ale równocześnie jesteśmy w konsultacjach z naszymi sojusznikami. Jestem w stałym kontakcie z sekretarzem generalnym NATO, tak aby przez najbliższych kilka godzin, dni i w dalszej przyszłości równie skutecznie jak dzisiaj w nocy działać w przypadku tego typu zagrożenia. Jest to pierwszy przypadek, kiedy doszło do zestrzelenia rosyjskich dronów nad terytorium państwa NATO i dlatego wszyscy nasi sojusznicy sytuację traktują bardzo poważnie. Nie odnotowaliśmy żadnych ofiar. Oczywiście trwają poszukiwania szczątków zestrzelonych dronów.
And do you have any particular message for Russia, for President Putin, about this incident?
For Putin, I mean, my message is clear. Stop the war in Ukraine. Stop the escalating war, which he is now basically mounting on innocent civilians and civilian infrastructure. Stop violating Allied airspace. And know that we stand ready. That we are vigilant and that we will defend.
Shake-up in the war in Ukraine. Poland has invoked Article 4 of the NATO treaty. This comes after Russian drones violated their airspace overnight. That incident occurred during a large-scale attack on targets across Ukraine, and the move now means Poland can call on other NATO countries, including the U.S., for consultations when they believe their security is threatened, and world leaders are responding. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington.
Poland is on high alert after they say Russian drones entered the Polish airspace during a wave of attacks in neighboring Ukraine.
Zamkniemy granicę z Białorusią.
Poland's prime minister says Polish and NATO air defenses were scrambled to shoot down the drones. The Polish actions mark what's believed to be the first direct military engagement between a NATO member and Russia since the Ukraine conflict began in 2022. The Polish government calling the incident an act of aggression that posed a real threat to the safety of our citizens, adding that its forces remain fully prepared for immediate response. Authorities even temporarily closing the airspace over parts of Poland overnight. It comes as Russia has ramped up its attacks on Ukraine.
Це тільки один удар з багатьох.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying that Russia continues to kill and there's not enough support from global allies. Now he's urging allies to step up air defense supplies to the country. Over the weekend, Russia staged its largest aerial attack on Ukraine since the war began. During a meeting in London Tuesday, the Secretary General of NATO met with the British Prime Minister to discuss next steps for Ukraine's security and to try and get the U.S. more involved.
Together with President Emmanuel Macron of France, you took the leadership on the coalition of the willing. And last week, the Europeans were able, together with help from NATO and others, to nail down what these security guarantees would look like. Of course, now we have to get the US involved.
Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Before that overnight attack, President Trump was once again pressed about brokering a peace deal in Ukraine. He says he expects to talk with Putin in the next week.